Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxy and this is Bookish Plans and Things. So today I am going to be reorganizing my bookshelves. I don't think I've organized my bookshelves for like over a year or something, and you're seeing there all the books I've accumulated since I want to say like December. I do remember Book Outlet having a sale over the holidays, and I took advantage of that. So I ended up making like 2 purchases or something like that. And then in February it was my birthday, so I went a little crazy with that. And then just kind of the last few months, a bunch of sales happening in my local bookstores. For example, like Independent Bookstore Day happened, and then like anniversary sales. So just things like that. I've just purchased books quite a bit. I can admit that I've purchased quite a bit, but that's okay because usually the last half of the year I don't purchase any books. I have 4 of my kids' birthdays in the fall and winter season, so I'm like, my focus is on them, whereas the first half of the year, I kind of spoil myself a little bit. But what you're seeing here, I'm just kind of taking off all of my bookshelf decor. I have quite a bit of Funko Pops, although this is not by any means anywhere close to my entire collection. But I have like a bunch of sports stuff and favorite movies and TV shows. I have a lot of mugs, and that I do try and change out seasonally as well. But right now it's spring and summer. It's just kind of, basic decor. I don't, what in the before bookshelves, I don't necessarily have a way of organizing my bookshelves. I have previously done like the rainbow or by author, but I typically have mine by genre, but also by like type of book, like if it's hardcover or paperback. I don't have a preference, I should say, whether I prefer hardback or paperback or physical or ebook or whatever it may be. To me, reading is reading. I love collecting books, I do know that. So whether I read them physically or digitally, honestly it doesn't matter, as long as I'm reading them. And a bunch of these books I do have as an ebook as well, just because I do tend to read late at night or first thing in the morning, or whenever I can't sleep, I'm reading or listening to a book. So I don't have a preference. I have a few mass paperbacks, which, yes, it does kind of ruin how I organize it, because it's hard to really put those kinds of books in a good place and have it look good. But if it's a mass paperback or if it's a small book or whatever it may be, I don't care. I'm gonna add it to my bookshelf either way. But you'll see in the after that I did organize by genre, and I noticed that I have collected more horror this time around than romance or even thriller, although horror and thriller do go hand in hand. See right here, you have all the books that I just took off my bookshelf, so it's quite a bit. But what I was saying before is that thanks to the Nightworms book box, which I've been a subscriber to on and off since they began, I have accumulated just much more horror books. And then a lot of the local bookstores do have more horror. Like, I think horror is becoming really popular in the book world and the book community, which I'm really excited about. So I love seeing more of those authors being appreciated in the book community. I know romance is also a big genre out there, which I do have. I do read that still, but in the past year or so, I feel like I've read a lot more horror, even thrillers, and even more general fiction, like literary fiction. So my tastes have changed, and in organizing my bookshelves this time around, I definitely noticed that change. Um, but you're seeing here that I usually, well, I am putting my hardbacks, my tall ones, at the very top of my bookshelves. Um, I know a lot of people like to do it where the hardbacks are on the bottom because they can be so heavy, but these are the IKEA Billy bookshelves or bookcases, and they're pretty sturdy. So I like putting my tall hardbacks all the way at the top, including like the book of the month and things like that. So this is one of my favorite bookshelves. This is my sports section. If you didn't know, I am a huge sports fan. I root for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then everything else is LA, like the Lakers, the Dodgers, and if I were into hockey, it'd be the Kings. College football, like USC, UCLA. So I am originally from California, from LA, Long Beach area. But back in my day, there wasn't an LA football team. The Raiders were in Oakland, the Chargers were in San Diego, and the Rams were in St. Louis. So obviously that has since changed. But I've been an Eagles fan since 2003. I haven't looked back. I love my team. So you see I have a couple of Jalen Hurts Funkos. I have my football, which I've had that since, like, a coworker gave that to me, I want to say in 2009. So I love it. I cherish it as one of my most prized possessions. So yeah, I have a bunch of Eagles stuff on my shelf. And then I am setting up my Stephen King bookshelf. So he is the one where I own a bunch of like the small books, the mass paperbacks. Like I said earlier, I don't mind the type of books that I have. I love that I have the original publications or, published books. There are certain books where I will collect them, whether they have a special edition or a more updated cover or anything like that. There are some books where I will try and match them all, because I do know that a lot of books, if they have more than one or two books in a series, they tend to change the covers, which I hate, and any reader, I think, will hate when they change the covers in the middle of the series. So I do end up matching them, although I'm never in a hurry to really do that. It's just something that's on my mind, and if I see a new one or if I really, really like the book, I'll purchase it brand new. But usually I wait, till it's used or a couple years old, and I'll start collecting things that way. But like you'll see, The Exorcist, I do have a couple editions of that one, and they're both completely different sizes. One of them I purchased on Book Outlet, actually. I think it was over the holidays, and it was like a special edition where it has like green sprayed edges, it's glow in the dark. And then I have the small Barnes and Noble version of it. So again, don't care how I have my books, but I need to have my favorites no matter what edition it is. But I did have trouble here, not trouble, but I just couldn't decide how I wanted to set this part up. So you'll see me kind of move things around and shuffle books around quite a bit until I finally realized that I wanted to kind of highlight my favorite horror authors by gender. So I dedicated one shelf to a bunch of like horror / thriller authors, and then another bookshelf right next to it I highlighted favorite male horror / thriller authors. So I'm really happy with how it came out. A couple of these authors I haven't exactly read, or I've only read one book from. but you know, they are authors that come highly rated or highly recommended. So I'm really happy with the fact that I ended up coming up with that idea. But it's only those two bookshelves, and then the rest I kind of randomly threw in there because they were mostly paperbacks. I have like a bunch of paperbacks and a lot of really thin hardcovers, really thin novellas, courtesy of Nightworm's book box. They're really good at sending out like a normal novel, and they include like a novella in most of their packages. Sometimes it's like 2 full-length novels. So I'm not a rep for them or anything, but I highly recommend their subscription because they're really good. If you are a fan of horror, mixed with maybe some fantasy, sometimes a little fantastical elements in their books, and then of course thriller, because I feel like horror and thriller do go hand in hand for the most part. This particular shelf is dedicated to some favorites, some classics, and even a little bit of general fiction that I've gotten into lately. So this shelf would be considered a bit of like my read shelf, because like I said, I included books that I have read before. And then I also added in some books that I'm really looking forward to, like literary fiction wise. But again, you'll see a lot of these books are on the smaller side, which I really like. They're really well loved. So as I mentioned earlier, although there isn't a specific order to how I organize my bookshelves, I do tend to leave the bottom row for books that are kind of towards the bottom of my TBR. So you'll see here, these are all the books that I ended up taking off my bookshelf, and this is the final look. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I used just the same decor, did not change anything up, although since the filming of this bookshelf organization, I did purchase and receive a couple other things from the Punchkins website. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see the few new additions, but I will leave that link to that website down below so you guys can check it out. But yeah, these are my shelves. They're really pretty, they're really nice. I'm very happy with the way it came out. I love that new Charlie Brown book. Peanuts is one of my favorites of all time, so I'm glad to have incorporated that with my with my sports bookshelf. Then here's my little exorcist section. I hope to one day meet Linda Blair so that she can sign like the Funko Pop box that I have, or even that mug. That cute little ghost is from what is that? That it's another horror book box. I'll leave it linked down below, but I do recommend that one. They do have a lot of good horror goodies, so check that website out if you are interested in more horror book boxes. But yeah, there you go. Those are my bookshelves. This is how I organize my bookshelves this time around. If you guys have any questions on any of the books or anything that I have there on my bookshelves, let me know. I will try and link what I can down below. That way you guys can check them out as well. Let me know how you guys organize your bookshelves. Leave your links to your videos down below so I can check them out. But other than that, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.